Let's do a quick mic check. Mic check, 1, 2. All right, it seems to be working. Sorry for the late start. Everything broke. So fun way to start the stream. All right. All right. Almost ready to start. Anyways, hope everyone's having a good Halloween. Hope everything is going smoothly for everybody else. I'm going to be doing a Halloween-inspired painting today. All right. Make sure my camera's working properly. Okay, I think it's working properly. I do need to fix my my canvas here real quick. For some reason it is skewed out of place a little bit. Let's fix that real quick. Alrighty, almost got it in the right place, or the right size, I mean. All right, there we go. That's closer to accurate. All right. Hello. Hope it, like I said, hope everyone's having a good Halloween. I tried so hard to figure out a way of like actually doing face paint on my face on the computer, but I could not figure it out. So I went with this instead. And apparently it doesn't do a good job of tracking me when I go out of bounds for some reason. Just keeps popping like crazy, but oh well. Oh, let me get rid of the grid overlay I have here. Hey Des, welcome. How you doing? I'm glad you made it. That Menace Donley is streaming at the same time again. I know we just what can you do? Sometimes it's the right time to stream. I was this close to canceling tonight because it took me about 15 minutes just to get the stream. Let me rephrase that. It took me an hour and 15 minutes. 15 minutes longer than I was supposed to start, and it took me an extra 15 minutes to get it up and running. Had to restart my computer twice, disconnect the router. Um, yes, just like I restart my computer before my stream because that way, it cleans out the system. It helps so that it doesn't crash. Well, I restarted the computer, and then that's it. No internet connection, nothing. Like nothing is working all of a sudden. And I took like an hour anyways just to get what's it called? To get started. Or to set up the stream because if you notice I have some effects going on and some stuff like that happening. So yeah. I almost just gave up on it because I spent so much time and I was just getting fed up with it. How you been, by the way? Hope you're doing well. I don't know what's my camera is very sticky right now. Oh yeah, that I remember why. It's very sticky because I was also gonna try and have glowing eyes. And I needed my eyes to always be in the same spot because I couldn't get it. Uh, I couldn't get it to actually follow my eyes, so instead I set it so my eyes would never move. See? But it didn't look good, so doing okay. Busy trying to clean out my house of clutter. We have repairs needed, and I can't find anyone wanting to work. Got it. Let's reduce this a bit. Make it a little less ridiculously harsh. So yeah. All right. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that about the house. That's rough. Um, yeah. I'm just gonna clean my brush and get ready to start this painting. So this is like I said, a Halloween themed painting, of course. So we're gonna try and get it done fast. Maybe I'll keep working on it Sunday. Not sure. If not, I'll just try and get done either this stream or a little work after stream. I don't know. I have a reference link in my YouTube description for the image I'm using. Um, or yeah, because I grabbed an image from a Instagram model, so I linked back to her so that I can give proper what's it called, attribute. No, there's a word for it, to attribute, but I can't remember how to pronounce it properly right now. Oh, great! Okay, my palette's all dry. I don't know why or how, but it's dry. So excuse me while I clean that off real quick. I did not expect it to be dry. In case you're wondering why the wincing, it's the sound of metal on glass that is very unpleasant. That hopefully my audio filter is filtering out for all of you, so you're not suffering with me. All right. I'm gonna put out more red while I'm at it, and yellow because I'm gonna need it. Oof, I better buy some more soon. Not like dangerously low, but I'm getting low, and I'm always worried that you know, I'll order it and it'll take forever to reach me for some reason. Okay. Excuse me for a moment. I have to go take care of one of my cats real quick. Hey, love. Oh, I'm still streaming. I just realized I'm still mic'd. 1 second. I didn't mute myself. I don't remember how to mute myself. Okay. I had to bring one of my cats. We have one of our cats in isolation, and I heard her crying, and I realized that I hadn't gotten her out of her room today at all, so I had to go take care of that. All right, let's get started on this. Hopefully she won't be too much of a distraction. Is the stream okay? I'm getting a warning on YouTube. Let me just check it real quick. Okay, looks like it's working just fine. Great. All right. There we go. Or almost effort. Oof, that oil looks like it needs some help. Very sludgy. I'd have to toss that out. All right. Let's just start with some background to begin with. I like to do the background because it gives me kind of like it's kind of like the Barg envelope kind of thing. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's a system of drawing. I'll be honest, I never did it in my atelier or my art school, but it is a very traditional classical way of learning how to draw from life and from reference. and it's very good. I don't have the patience for it anymore. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to say I'm accurate enough, but I get by kind of thing. If I painted from life more, I might practice a bit more. But honestly, I really would like to get to the point where I'm actually more okay with exaggerating things versus what's it called? Versus trying to be perfectly accurate. Although it doesn't really apply to portraits. If you're doing someone's portrait, commission, something like that, usually they kind of want accuracy. It's very, very usual for them to want. So yeah, like I said, this is just the envelope of the figure. Obviously, she's going to be mostly in here. And, and this is still just a very rough layout part of the process. A little too white. It says, okay, I'm back. I had to deal with the dogs. Say, no worries. I had to deal with the cats. I had to kick Dresden out of my room and bring in one of my other cats. I feel bad for Dresden, but I feel I feel bad for Misu more, my other cat. She's been in isolation because of the she got out and got into a fight um, with a local cat. So for everyone's safety, she's in isolation for a little while. Well, for quite a while. But hopefully, and most likely, she's fine, and we can bring her back in with the rest of the cats soon. So I am doing a I grabbed reference off of Instagram, which I don't normally do. Um, I really try to not take things that are, I try to look for things that are like explicitly open license, and this is not. However, I did link the the content creator who posted these images, or the reference image I'm using in the description on my YouTube channel, so people can go check her out if they would like to. Um, yeah, I was trying to find a Halloween reference to use. Hi, Misu. Other thing I was saying is I'm not sure. I kind of want to get this done fast because it's very much a Halloween themed painting. So not sure if I'll do continue Halloween into Sunday or not. We'll see. Curious if that's what people think about that idea. Like if I don't finish it today, should I keep working on it on Sunday and do another Halloween themed stream, or are we out of Halloween by then? Curious what the verdict is on that. Let's see. Des says it took me hours to watch the Portrait Artist of the Year episode I posted. I just kept getting distracted, but I found a few people on it to follow on Instagram. That's good. That is one thing that I find frustrating. It's hard. I do find it hard to like find people from there to follow because I have such a bad memory for names. They sometimes put their name on screen. Yeah, when they interview them for the first time, then I Google them and I usually their Instagram comes up. True, true. You just have to go look for it, you know. But you're right. I think the problem is I watch it while I like do other things, generally speaking. So it's, I'm distracted while it's happening. I know that's not really a good way to watch the show, but that's how I watch 99% of everything. I find it very hard to just sit and watch stuff. Misu, what are you doing, little girl? Why is that the space you want to sit down? That is such a bad spot. It's like the worst spot. That is like the worst spot, little girl. I'll leave you to it until you start knocking stuff over, but like, that's not a good spot to sit down. I don't know what's. Their little brains sometimes just don't seem to work very well. Oh, no, you don't. You are not getting up there, little girl. No, no, no. No jumping on my desks. Are you crazy? All right. I knew she was going to be distracting, but I still felt like she needed to, be taken out of her room a bit so she could spend time with people, me. Little girl, you can rub up against it as much as you want. Just don't try and eat the cords, okay? Eating electrical cords is not good for you, especially when they're plugged in. So, out of the episodes that they posted for Portrait Artist of the Year so far, have you agreed with most of their choices or disagreed with most of their choices. Little girl, why are you being so weird? All right, let me put my glove back on because I need to do the brayer. Mm. Okay, that glove is never going to be going on right now. Okay, you know what? Not doing the brayer right now. I'm taking a short break and going to pay attention to Misu. She desperately needs it. Hey, why are you being such a butt, little girl? Little demon kitty. I know you can't see her very well. Gotta make sure she doesn't become feral. Okay, then. Well, I'm also out of my drink. Hi, little girl. You're all hyper now. I can't play with you right now. I'm sorry. I know you want me to play with you, but I can't right now. No, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, let's get the brayer going. Uh, all right, brayer should only take a minute to do. I do the up and down a lot because I like the idea of like, you know how in movies the like color smears, or not smears, but the bright colors kind of, what's the word? Streak, I guess, or shine. Yeah. I also do it this like to the side some as well, but I think I prefer the up and down most of the time. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure everything's covered. All right. Misu is hyper. She's playing with a marker that's on the floor. Normally at this point I would take a photo and do that, but let's try and get more of it done before I go to the computer. I have faith that I can make some more progress you know, without taking it to the computer first. I'm going to do that. Do some measuring here. I don't measure a ton with like this, but honestly, I should. It's good. It's a good habit to have. And you can measure, you can eyeball it, but this is, of course, more accurate. Misu, what happened? Did you lose your marker? Little girl, where's your marker? There it is. Hey, Cassandra. Get the hose. He's on. Quick, someone get the hose. He's on fire. Yeah. Misu. Misu's in my room right now because she's Poor girl's in isolation, and I realized she hadn't been out today, so a little distracted. She will not quiet down. I mean, she's not making sounds. She just like wants attention and wants to be, busy. Still, yeah, she's still in isolation, and I try and take her. We take her out of isolation with supervision. We leave her in the we take her out in the carrier. I bring her into my room, stuff like that, but no interaction between her and the other cats for now. Um, and I realized today that I hadn't gotten around to spending any time with her today. So I shooed Dresden away and brought her in, even though it's really not ideal to have her in here during the stream, but some things are more important. I mean, I did almost cancel stream today because I was late. I could not get stream. I could not get my internet up and running properly. And other things. I spent so much time getting this effect stuff going on. I was trying to get what's it called? I was trying to get it set up so that I could have something to track on my face, but I could not find a way of doing that, unfortunately. Anyways, how are you doing, Cassandra? Good to see you. It's been a while. You've been out of town. How are you doing? I'm tired first week back of work and I voted when I got off. Yeah, I voted a couple days ago. But yeah, I always feel like I need a vacation when I get back from a vacation. So I know how you feel. Yeah, I know. It's like I just went on vacation. Now I'm back at work and I need another vacation so that I can recover from being on vacation. My coworker is leaving, so it's all hands on deck. So you have to walk around on all fours at work now? That doesn't seem very helpful. Precisely. Yeah, that's awful policy. How are things? Anything new to report? Uh, no, not really. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, nothing new at the moment. There's a bunch of events coming up in Austin because of like art related events. Not that I'm participating in, but I'm going, well, I mean, I'm going to participate in them as in I'm going to go to them, but I'm not like showing. Just be aware that so if those are things that are interesting to you, you know, you might want to consider those. Like there's the Austin uh, West and East studio tours coming up. Um, so yeah, stuff like that. Oh yeah, you haven't been to that in ages? You should go. This might actually be the last year it happens. Yeah, they've been apparently they've been having a ton of financial issues, and supposedly they're worried this will be the last year. They also they don't have a printed book this year, which I'll be honest, I feel like at this point they probably should have just given up on the printed book a long time ago, but you know, what do I know? I am not a financial planner, but yeah, seems like that was all a waste of money for quite a while. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but apparently it's just not financially like doing well, so they're actually saying it might be the last year, which makes no sense to me, for the record, because like I don't get it, but whatever. Uh Tasmia Ahmed says hi. Welcome. By the way, I have two chats happening, one on YouTube, one on Twitch. So if you're like, who the heck is he talking to? That's, you know, I'm talking to random ghosts. That's who those people are. Welcome. How are you doing today, uh, Tasmia? And if I'm mispronouncing your name, let me know. I'm really bad with names. That says I'll open YouTube as well just to keep someone company. Thank you. Appreciate that. Cassandra says, well, maybe if it does stop, it can come back after a bit of time. Maybe. I just hope it doesn't stop, but you know, I was actually, I was trying to get into it this year to participate, and I just couldn't manage it. Um, and I was like, okay, well, next year. And then everyone keeps telling me, yeah, next year might not happen. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, let me just grab another brush here. I need a slightly smaller brush. Oh, Misu settled down a little. That's good. Alrighty. So I have the reference I'm working from in the what's it called? In the in my YouTube description. I linked the person's Instagram. She's a model and she dressed up for Halloween, and I decided to paint that. I was looking at I was looking at all kinds of references, trying to figure out what I'm painting today. But yeah, so if anyone's curious, that's what I'm doing. All right. I'm trying to avoid going off screen to the computer as much as possible while I'm streaming. So I'm doing a little more measuring now, which is a good habit to have. I hope the fire effects aren't throwing people off too much. It is, I mean, not that I think anyone thinks it's real, more that it's just annoying. I just thought it'd be in the um, spirit of the holiday. I tried to get a filter to go on my face, but I could not make that happen. If I had a NVIDIA GPU, I may have been able to make that happen, but I don't. So, uh, yeah. Cassandra says I dig it. Nice. Thank you. I'm glad you do. Who am I painting? I am painting uh what's her name? Um Green. I had it written down. Her name's in the description. Her name is uh Darshell Stevens. She's a model and cosplayer. So I grabbed the photo from her Instagram. There should be a link in the description to it specifically. Generally, I don't. Generally, I don't do like Instagram posts and stuff like that. But for Halloween, I was looking for something fun to paint. It was either this or I was looking at like Freddy Krueger, and I just did not feel like looking at Freddy Krueger for so many hours. Also, it's kind of monotone in his colors, and I was just like, I don't feel like painting um, monotone painting. So I went with Sexy Clown instead. Sandra says, "Have you seen you seen the Ancient Girls Costume Warehouse skit on YouTube? No, I don't think so. I don't, yeah, I don't know um, what that is. Good God, it's 17 years old. Okay. Is this a commercial? I'm so out of like I don't even have any context. Is this like a TV sketch? Is it like I don't know what I'm like completely out of context here. I don't know what this is. It's a fake commercial. Okay. You'll send it to me for later. Cool. Sounds good. So yeah, I start very general and then as I go, I slowly bring everything into, well, not everything, but I bring the painting into shape as it goes. In case anyone's like, that looks like a mess. Yes, it is a mess in the beginning. Very normal. So I'm mostly eyeballing everything at the moment, but what I'm going to do in just a little bit is I'm going to take a photo of this and overlay my painting and my reference on top of each other on the computer. And I can use that for reference points as to areas that I need to adjust or fix as I go along. I did change the color of the background in case anyone's curious why, if you're looking at the reference and you're like, why is the background different? I changed it because I'm not really going to be painting the background or the other person in the photo. Sorry to the other model. You rebel, right? Just trying to, yeah, trying to do this quickly. I don't want this to be a painting that I spend forever on. Yeah. Yeah, the size of the mouth is completely off. Let me fix this real quick. Uh, what is it? Uh, Tasmia, are you a painter as well? A lot of the people who stop by are. Not everybody, you know. No, it's not required, but a lot tend to be. So I always ask. I need to do a poll one day to find out exactly how many of the people who stop by actually are artists. Although, what was it? My last stream, there was someone who stopped in who's like, "No, I'm not an artist." And then as they keep talking, you realize that, you know, they talk about the fact that they want to buy some paint and start out and do, and it's like, okay, you're a beginning artist. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that, but you are an artist. Does that does that person knew specific lingo and artist knows? So yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, even if they didn't, I'm of the mind like if you make art, you're an artist. Doesn't matter if you know the lingo, you don't know the lingo. But I know what you're saying, and someone who's steeped in it, I get that. All right, I'm going to take this moment. I'm going to take a photo and overlay it to make sure, because I know some things definitely need to be adjusted. And in case anyone's curious, why am I taking a photo and doing this instead of measuring? Uh, it's easier and quicker. And I don't like to grid as much. So this is this is a lazier version of gridding or projecting for that matter. Two things well, actually, I don't mind gridding. I don't mind projecting. It's a bit of a hassle, but it's not too bad. I don't really mind gridding. It's just I find my paintings are looser and better when I don't grid overall. It's weird. My photo that I have here is like very, seems, hold on. It's like very low quality. Huh, I don't know why, that's so weird. I've been talking with a bunch of people recently who do murals. Um, I don't know, I'm really hesitant to make my way into making murals. I'm not really built for it, but we'll see. Maybe small murals. All right, there we go. All right, you know what? I am actually gonna be right back. Let me put the be right back on. Let me be, let me just go get a drink because I don't have anything to drink at the moment. I'm back. Okay, so this is an example of me being so focused on like the face that I totally messed up the face. Which I know sounds stupid, but this happens to me, and I'm sure it happens to other people, but when I focus so much on certain areas without intending to, like I enlarge it because I need it to be bigger, so I keep making it bigger, you know? because that's where my focus is. So yeah, that happens to a lot of beginner artists too. If you notice, like if you've ever seen like beginner artists and the eyes are just always really big, you're just like, that's why. And the size of of the um the color of the eye is also bigger. That's why. Cassandra says tunnel vision. Yeah, absolutely. I also have a harder time with it when I'm like trying to do things fast, or and I'm streaming and distracted. Like all those things always make me a little less accurate. But that's why I use the computer to help out with that stuff. But yeah, the shape of the mouth is so good though. I know it's just completely in the wrong place. But that's also one of my like things. I'm not worried about that. If I mess it up, it's fine. I'll fix it. It's not a big deal. So, you know, I have very little fear about messing those things up. There are some things I am worried about messing up. Like I'm working on this cat painting for June right now, and it's going really well. And it's going really well in a way where um, I am afraid of messing it up. And what I mean by that is it's the like balance of looseness and um, you know, I guess it's the balance of like loose and accurate and brushy and it's all that stuff. It's not about placement of anything or anything like none of that is what I'm concerned about. It's the overall feel of it that I'm worried about messing up, not like individual aspects. And that's one of those things is a lot easier to mess up and a lot harder to correct. Whereas this is just like, oh, whatever. I need to, move the mouth. No problem. Just move the mouth a bit. I think June is the most prolific artist I know, lol. Uh, for now, for now. If things go as I plan, um, you know, am I planning to be Speedy Gonzalez? Yes, I am. Yeah, my plan is I don't want to talk too much about it because if I don't do it, I don't want to like make promises and not keep them or you know, it's all up in the air right now, but I was looking at trying to do um, about, and like I said, we'll see. Um, I'm okay. I'm preferencing this. I could not say that word properly. Sorry. Um, I'm doing this, what's it called? This business class right now through the city of Austin. So this definitely might change or affect things depending on certain things that I can't really talk about at the moment. But the plan is I was looking at trying to do five finished five finished paintings a week. That was the plan. And that's not even the entirety of the plan. Yes, five paintings a week. And like I said, that's not even all the plan. There's more to it. They would all be um, with, of course, the option for some exceptions. They would all be 9 by 12. That is the rough size that I was planning on doing them. Like, kind of standardize some aspects of it so that I didn't have to constantly, you know, come up with it. So it was like I will standardize elements of it. So they'll all be 9 by 12 unless there's some exceptions, of course. Cassandra says the rest of the plan is to juggle fire and ride a unicycle at the same time and paint upside down. No, not quite. Um, let's see. I can juggle, not upside down, and I cannot ride a unicycle. So that would probably be harder than what I'm actually thinking of doing, but not by much. Can I? I can juggle. My max is 3. I maybe could do 4, some basic 4 juggling, but I can do 3 and I can do some basic tricks with 3. Like I can, I can bounce it off if they're bouncy balls. I can bounce them off the wall, or I can maybe throw one behind my back or under a leg, something like that. With a little bit of practice. It's been a long time. Cassandra says I can kind of contact juggle. I'd get like T plus in it. What the hell is contact juggle? Did I misunderstand what I read? Like in Labyrinth? Oh, you mean the glass ball where he's like making it like roll around his hand? Oh, that's cool. I don't know how to do that. I've never touched one of those. I don't even know how they work. Andrew says I broke a mirror learning, lol. Uh oh yeah. That's I take it you were looking in the mirror to see how you were doing, is my assumption, although I could be wrong. Um No, it rolled off my arm like a catapult smash. I could see that too. Have you ever seen the behind the scenes of a Labyrinth where they show how they did that? For anyone who doesn't know, in Labyrinth, David Bowie was supposed David's Bowie character was the one who like did the glass ball rolly thing. But David Bowie doesn't know how to do that, so they had a world class like master of this thing doing it, and what he would have to stick his arm underneath David Bowie's armpit essentially. So David Bowie had his arm tucked behind his back. This guy stuck his hand out from between his arm and then did it blind while hunched over, holding his arm up in like the most awkward position ever. Cassandra says Michael Motion or whatever is the guy's name. Yeah. It's crazy that he could even do that. Like it's one of those things where you're like, that doesn't seem too hard. And then you see someone do it and you see how they're doing it. You're like, oh, he's doing it from behind him with his arm outstretched while he's bent over with his head down, not even looking at it. That looks, first of all, just super uncomfortable, and then also ridiculously hard. Cassandra says we went to the Hanson exhibit while we were on vacation and got to see their outfits for the ballroom scene. Oh, nice. Took me a second. I was thinking Hanson. I was thinking like the, Muppets or something. Yeah, it was also Muppets. Yeah, yeah. I never really liked the Muppets all that much, so I was not a big Hanson fan, although I love Labyrinth very much. Now that you mention it, I should have just done a Labyrinth painting. I don't know why I'm doing this painting. I should have done Labyrinth. Damn it. Now I want to do a Labyrinth painting so much more than I want to finish this painting. There's always tomorrow. There is always tomorrow. This is true. Or 5 more days worth of painting you could do. I'm not quite up to speed on the plan yet, I'll be honest. I still have a bunch of things that I'm not, like I said, I'm taking this class through the city of Austin type of thing, and so I've been distracted with that. Also, I had a little bit of freelance work recently, and that also kind of got in the way of things. But I do need to get started on my speedy arc, Yeah, snack be right back. Yeah. Yay, work. Yeah, it was very small amount of work, but combine that with the class and it was enough to get in the way of things. I bet the Hanson Museum, though, was a lot of fun. Alexander says, I'm hoping I have spoons to get back into things this weekend. Yeah, I feel that. I don't know. There's uh, I have a bunch of social commitments that I'm also like in this week and next week that I have like on my, calendar, a bunch of those as well. And that stuff eats into my spoons a lot. Life, it's relentless. It is. Okay. What did you major in college? Uh, Technically, I didn't go to college. I went to a uncredited art school that's basically like an atelier. So that I did not technically go to college. I thought about it, but they all the colleges um, at the time I was only interested in doing. I wanted to be a comic book artist, so none of them had anything to offer me at the time. I almost went to a school that was specifically for comics, but I ended up not going there because it was very expensive. It was in a state where I didn't have any connections, and the artwork at my local atelier looked better than the one at the in the brochure. So I decided to just go there, and it was cheaper, and I ended up working for the atelier to pay for my classes for part of it, which was very helpful. It says I spent a lot of time and money studying something that would neither lead to me, uh, lead to my passions nor a career. Most artists are learning from YouTube University nowadays. A lot are, although I do think that I do think that having a teacher is very beneficial. So if you can take classes, if you can be a part of an atelier, stuff like that, it's very, very beneficial. Just depends. Not everyone has the means to do that, of course. And there's also classes online, of course. So there's a lot of stuff out there nowadays. And I'm also looking at that as a potential thing. I'm thinking of possibly starting a mentorship uh, type of thing in the near future. Welcome back, Cassandra. But, at the moment, I don't know how or what I'm doing with that. So there's nothing really to, like, you know, talk about. But it is something on my mind to do at some point. Um, Tasmia, if you're interested or have any art questions, of course, you're welcome to ask right now. But you can also join our Discord and talk to other artists there and share your work and so on, and get perspective or ask questions of other artists, not just me, but anyone in the Discord who, wants to participate. And you can share your artwork there too, if I didn't mention that already. Yeah. And it's free, the Discord. The only thing you'll get is um, you'll get the at everybody message when I'm going live because I stream twice a week. So when I go live, you'll get that at everybody thing. Although I am thinking about changing that. I think I might slowly change that and make it so that only the people. Um, I have to look into how to do this, but I can assign roles to people, so I can give people the role of like someone who watches. So if they want to get that alert, then they can get that alert, and if they don't, then they won't get that alert. It's just that's that requires effort on my side of things to do, and you know like Cassandra was saying, only so many spoons sometimes. So yeah, there's an idea. I want to implement it. I just need to take the time and do that. That says anyone who doesn't want alerts can mute the stream. Don't go out of your way. I mean, I know they can, but this way they can get alerts for other things, but then also they can not get alerts for when I'm live, And the added benefit is that I can be a little more of a pain. So right now I try to let everybody know an hour before I go live. But if it's only the people interested in watching me, I can let everyone know that I'll go live in an hour. And then when I go live, I can let them know again, just like an extra, a little extra thing. And right now I don't do that because I feel like I don't want to annoy people, basically. But I know people can mute it if they want. Let's see, Cassandra says, wait, Des says, Cassandra, gosh, my last stream was horrible. I got modded so many times, almost every time I spoke. Yes, you did. Cassandra says, clean up your act, Des. And yeah. Des says, did you know you can't say suck in here? Really? I don't even remember what the words are. Like I said, that's auto mod for you. I will say this, for anyone who is in the Discord, if you all have recommendations or things that you're like, this feature on the Discord would be really good if you did this, or if you changed this or anything like that, by all means, you're more than welcome to let me know. I just I will adjust things if needed, if I have the time and energy and so on. But yeah, I do want to make it better, you know. Cassandra says, in my opinion, if someone makes the effort to come to your Discord, then they probably would like to know when you're streaming. But I completely understand not wanting to bother folks. Yeah. I figure this is a way to be like, um, you know, Like there might be more casual followers and less casual followers, like maybe it's a way for me to like, not bug the people who are more casual and just like whatever. I don't know. There's also some other things I'm thinking about doing. I have all these ideas and I'm trying to figure them out. I'm trying to figure out like what people um not what like I guess what people would be interested in, not just what I would be interested in doing, but also if anybody else would be interested in it. But it's very hard to test these things when you don't have enough people. No offense, it's a matter of quantity. You got to have like a certain amount of people to test certain things. Yeah. Like I'm very curious how many people would be interested in um, you know, like an open Discord call type of thing. Um, I don't know how many people would be interested in coming into and participating in something like that. I know obviously people do stuff like that and people participate, but yeah, I don't know. Oh, I do have some. This is personal news. News might be an exaggerated term for this, but something recently happened. I asked my uncle. He's got he, well, okay, he has a ton of hobbies, but he's always been really into photography. So I asked him if he had any old camera gear that he wasn't using that he'd be cool donating to me so I could, you know, practice more photography because I want to take more photo references for my paintings. Um, and this camera that I'm using for stream, it doesn't have a viewfinder, so anytime there's sun, not going to work very well. And also, I'm very nervous about taking it outside with me because I do use it for stream, and if anything happens to it, then I'm going to be out the camera. Um, but I was planning on it in case he had like a bag or something I could take out with me, take it out with me. But he sent me a bag, and he also sent me a old camera. He has a old camera from 2005. So he sent that to me. So now I have a very old uh, digital camera to take out and take local photos with. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, the camera that that I'm streaming with is it's a good camera, but it's also like I'm pretty sure the whole thing's made out of plastic. It's not, not a rugged uh, camera. It's also not weather sealed and so on and so forth. It's just I was so nervous of taking out, you know, my only like the camera I use for stream, the camera I use for photos of my paintings, all that stuff. It's just like I don't know. Cassandra says, well, I brought in the candy bucket and turned off the lights on the porch. I'm calling Halloween done. We had one group of trick-or-treaters come by and that was it. We did not have any candy ready because last year there was no trick-or-treaters. So we like totally forgot about it. And let's do a quick stretch break and then I can go back in and get everything more unified. Hmm. Oh. All right, yeah, this is starting to come together. I know it's like really messy and people who aren't familiar with the with it might think it's not, but yeah, it started to. All right. 1 second. I'm gonna do some more brayer work here because I want to knock back the opacity of some things. And using the brayer is a great way of doing that. Up here, I didn't like the little marks that I'd left with the smaller brush, so the brayer works well to get rid of those too. The worst thing about the brayer is cleaning it, for the record. That is hands down the thing I hate the most about the brayer is trying to clean it. I'm so glad I have gloves. You can't see it because of the filter, but I'm so glad I have gloves. Sandra says, I've told you time and time again just to roll it on your face. Are you kidding with my beard? It'll catch and pinch. No, thank you. Have it your way. Yep. At the moment, that feels way, way too bright. However, I think as I go through this, it won't be too bright. If it is still too bright later, I will knock it back a bit. But I think because this is a dark panel, everything feels just a little dark at the moment. I want to brighten everything up. turned off the notice for the cam. Wait, oh, wait. That says I brought in the candy too. We left the bowl on the step because of the Ring doorbell sound. The dogs go insane, so turn off. Oh yeah, yeah. Our cats uh, go crazy with the doorbell can't ring too. And by crazy, I mean they run and hide because they're scared. Scaredy cats, literally. Yeah, we didn't put out candy because literally like the last 2 years, I don't think anyone came by. And then today someone came by and rang the bell and I was like, ah, crap, I totally forgot. We had no one came by in the last like 2 years, so we didn't think about it. This is reminding me I did paint the Joker a long time ago. Uh when the first Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie came out. Well, not when it came out, it was quite a bit after, but before it came out on DVD. Sandra says I definitely watched some teens just take giant fistfuls, and one came back a second time. To be fair, we had roses and peanut butter Snickers. So oh, we had Reese's. Sorry, roses. I'm like, what do you mean roses? Reese's and peanut butter Snickers. So I'd be hard to resist. Yeah, I totally get that. Although I can't eat any of those anymore, but I do like them. So I'm actually recently got a recipe for something that's supposed to be like a brownie, but it ends up tasting basically like a Reese's uh, peanut butter cup because it's like a no-bake brownie, but in reality, it just ends up tasting like a Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup. I've been eating a lot of those lately. That it's super rich? Yes, it is, and dense. Des says we had Rice Krispie squares, fruit cocktail cups, and some teeny snack pouches and muffin bites or something. I have no idea. My daughter's stuff she usually takes to work for lunch. Interesting. Some of that sounds good. Yeah, the no bake uh brownie thing that I'm making is like super rich. It's crazy. It's and rich and dense. We actually freeze them. They're so good. Uh, temp shift and the highlights are doing a lot. Yeah, make sure it's in focus now that there's more there. But yeah, yeah, it's definitely it's starting to bring it all forward, you know. Uh, I want it to feel like it's emerging from it, the canvas in a way, you know. So I think it's starting to get that feel. It absolutely is already reading that way. Yeah. Ah, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, I noticed like I painting is such an interesting thing, you know. As you develop your painting, uh, not just skills, but practice and interests and focus, things are constantly shifting. And I noticed recently that like I felt like there had been some shifting going on in my painting. And some of it was really, I was really happy with. I'm not, you know, and all of it makes sense. Like I know why it was happening, but some of it, I was just like, even though I'm happy with it, even though I understand why, some of it I was just like, no, I need to adjust some things and make some modifications. So I've been uh, refocusing some energy into certain areas of things and trying to focus on different elements of my painting to change it up a bit. And you know, I think it's been going well. I'm happy with it. Um, just need to keep working on some of that stuff. This part, some of it is her. Uh, I'm assuming some of this is a wig or something because it looks like it at least. So some of it I think is getting exposed here. So I have to compensate for that a bit, clean it up a little. Saw an interesting thing recently that talked about the color brown, and I have talked about the color brown before because a lot of people don't realize that brown is essentially just a desaturated dark orange. However, I saw a thing about brown that was really interesting, and that it is more than that. It is, in fact, the so the science behind how neon colors works is really interesting, because the way that neon colors work is that they not only reflect the light of the color that they are, right? Like red reflects things that look red because they reflect red light, right? And so on. Neon colors will also take colors that are close to, that are adjacent to the color, and shift them and reflect them as the same color. And that's why they appear so much brighter, which I thought was fascinating because I'm interested in colors. Um, Brown is the opposite, apparently. It's anti-neon color. It it I guess makes things duller, versus brighter like neon colors do. Uh, I thought that was really interesting. Having said that, brown is a very pretty color. Um, it's just kind of depends on which brown and what circumstance, because it's such a versatile, color. So many things are brown, and brown can be so many different colors essentially. But yeah, is very interesting. Sandra says, yeah, definitely seen some folks who don't keep any brown at all make their own every time. That'd be me. I don't have any brown on my palette. Uh, although, so I, one of my teachers, she, one of the things she recommended no, people don't keep brown on their palette. And the reason is because she said, very quickly you realize that everything is brown. And so you start reaching, because everything's brown, you start reaching for the brown on your palette all the time. And then you just end up with monochrome paintings. And she's like, unless you want to do monochrome paintings, then by all means. But assuming that's not what you want to do, uh, she doesn't recommend keeping brown on your palette for that reason, which I think is funny. I can see it being a very useful convenience color. I'm not a big convenience color person in general, as you can probably assume from my palette. However, um, I don't think there's anything wrong with using convenience colors, and maybe as time goes on, I will add some to my palette, uh, just, because. There are some colors I don't have on my palette, literally because they annoyed me because they dried too fast. So I'm not always the most reasonable. And it says I've tried pre-mixing some convenience colors for a painting or two and never made enough. And by the time I run out, it was more difficult to color match. I don't have a lot of trouble color matching, but that, my palette is so simple. It's, it's not complicated to color match with my palette. So that's one of the advantages of it. I'd rather mix the same color 10 times. Yeah. Well, so my palette, I know I've talked about this before, so I apologize, but the big advantage of my palette, well, there's a few advantages to my palette, but one of the big advantages is that you get really good at color mixing because you have to mix everything. Like everything needs to be mixed. There's almost never a time where I can just be like, oh, it's the right paint right out of the tube. That like never happens almost. So I got a lot of practice color mixing, which is great. Color mixing is a fantastic skill to develop. There's a ton of disadvantages with that, of course, but yeah, that's one of the positives. I really need to find an artist friend in the area that has one of the yellows that I want to try, so I can know if I need to buy it or not. Because then says everyone works so differently. It's one of the things I love in painting. Oh yeah, for sure. There was a painter who I met at the Portrait Society, and she pre-mixes almost everything. And she was like, "Yeah, she's like the painting happens on the palette." She's like, before you ever get to putting down brush marks. And I was standing watching her paint, and I was thinking to myself, don't ever watch me paint. You would hate it. I didn't say it, but she would hate watching me paint. Oh my God, she would just be, I feel like she would just cringe the whole time. Because she is so organized, with it and so methodical, and she mixes it. I'm just like, oh my God, she would hate it. Cassandra says that's the kid who collected all the crayons beforehand and lined them up. Yes, very much so. Dad says, I cannot imagine. Cassandra says, I imagine you had a bucket and shoved your hand in to fish around. LOL. Oh no. My favorite color was black, and I would just use black for almost everything. Just black, nothing else. And I drew everyone. So I I used the black crayon because black was my favorite color. And I drew everyone with big hands. And it was such a thing. It was so distinct that the school actually had talked to my mom, and they had me see a psychiatrist about this because big hands and I guess only drawing in black at the time, I don't know if it still is, was considered like warning signs for I don't know what abuse, I think, or something like that. Um, which okay, fair. It's a shame because they could have talked to me. Black was my favorite color. I drew big hands because I was using crayons and everyone has 5 fingers and everyone always had 5 fingers. I would get the fingers right. But crayons are really dull. So you have to make the fingers really big. Oh well. They should have totally asked you. They really should have. It was such a waste of time and money for my mom. It's one of those things where it's like, you could have just, they teach you in kindergarten to use your words. I think the teachers need to practice what they preach a little bit there. But yeah, that's all it was. It was pretty funny. I will say this painting, her hair and especially her hair is so like red. I'm really going through my colors way more than I normally do. My paints are usually so overly bright and saturated that I need to mix them down a ton, but in this instance, not as much. I'm gonna cheat a little and use some eyedropper here just to check some of my colors. Okay. It's always good to it's one of the, it's one of those things where it's like, it's good to have. It's not good to rely on, but don't mind double checking myself sometimes. Okay, that was a little too light to add a little red to that. Not that much. So when I put the brush sideways, my edge is a little too crisp. Trying to soften that a little at the moment. Crisp edges are great for certain things. I will say painting strong makeup like this is so interesting because you're painting, you're trying to convey the form and also the, design of the of the what's it called, of the makeup, which doesn't always go with the form. Also, so many of the like interesting flesh tones that people have in their face, all the like very nuanced stuff, completely gone because everything's painted over. That too. I do wonder if women who, well, people, doesn't really matter for women, but women generally, you know, generally use makeup more. I wonder if women have an easier time painting people with like heavy makeup because they're more used to it. Obviously, I'm talking in generals here, but I do wonder. There's an interesting thing with artists a lot of times, especially like comic book artists, artists who, actually, it's not just comic book artists, but comic book artists do a lot of inventing, whereas other types of artists like often rely on reference a lot more. So, um, because of that, I think. But a lot of times artists are like, especially when they're beginners, are significantly better at painting or drawing like the type of person they are because they can use themselves as a reference all the time. So you get used to that. With the exception uh, that I've seen of some guys are better at drawing women than they are men. I think because they might have a bit of a fixation. Uh, but yeah, generally it's whatever the person is, they're better at that because, like I said, you always have yourself as reference, so it's always you get used to it. Cassandra says, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah." That that's a thing that happens. Especially in the especially in comics, like there's some guys just like go ham on the like pin-ups and that type of stuff. Well, to be fair, some people have totally made careers out of doing just that. There are artists, and that's their whole career, pin-ups. That's all they do, pin-ups. I like pin-ups. I have nothing against pin-ups. And some of the artists that I like a lot are those pin-up artists because of how good they are at that. But yeah, I think I'd get bored after a while. Cassandra says, yeah, Olivia calendars were in our house a lot when I lived with my folks. Yeah, yeah, her stuff's fantastic. Um, you know, since my dad is an airbrush guy, Olivia was a big favorite. I could see that. Yeah, her stuff's fantastic. I mean, you know, no doubt about it. Okay, Des, I might be finishing up soon. I'm starting, it's already 10 and I'm starting to feel hungry. Haven't had dinner yet. Uh, yeah, last time I ate at like 4:30. I haven't eaten since then. Starting to feel it. You know, now that I look at it a little, I think my camera might be overexposing it a little. I wonder if I could. Everyone's screen is so different, so it's a little hard for me to tell. Let's see. It's somewhere in between that. Uh, I don't know. I think that's closer to accurate. Of course, it depends on your screen. Yeah. It's hard to know in the beginning what the how the camera is going to overcompensate for things. Hey, French fries, happy Halloween. How you doing? Yeah, no, it's hard to tell if that's accurate or not, but yeah, I think that's closer. Hey, French fries, how's it going? I'm sorry, I think I'm actually just about to end stream. Cassandra says, "Hello, I'm happy every time French fry shows up just because of their name is cute and makes me smile." Nice. Yeah. Now it's almost it's like 2 minutes to 10 and I am hungry. I haven't eaten since like 4:30. So, um, yeah, I'm feeling it and I think French fries, Cassandra, French fries says, thanks, I really appreciate it. And Cassandra says, oh yeah, it's food time. Yeah, I think I need to take a break and go eat. And I'm going to end stream. French fries, I'm sorry. Bad timing. You showed up right as I'm ending stream. I know it happens, but I feel bad when it does. Um, what was I going to say? Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. I don't know. I'm going to stream Sunday. And then, yeah, I'm streaming Sunday. French fries says, no problem. I'm getting ready to go to sleep myself. Good night. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Sorry, didn't work out. Have a good night. And yeah, I'm going to say good night, everybody now. I'll be back on Sunday. Um, I'm feeling it. Like uh, yeah, my concentration is starting to waver. Um, I don't know. I'll probably continue this next on Sunday, I think. Maybe. Um, I have a few paintings that I need to finish, and I don't wanna leave everything. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, clearly I gotta go. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I'm blabbering at this point. Good night.